I would tell schools that are on the fence, that are trying to start programs, that there's lots of resources out there available to them. They can look at their ambulance districts, they can look at the fire departments, they can call the American Heart Association, that the resources don't have to cost money, that the difference is the lives that can be saved through learning CPR.
It's important that we learn CPR in the schools. You never know when you're going to come across a situation that you're going to need to use what you've learned, and it's good to have that knowledge when the situation arises.
I encourage parents to look at their students' curriculum at their schools, and if their schools are not offering CPR, then they need to contact their state legislatures. The goal is to get students to learn CPR statewide in all schools.
My name is Abby Snodgrass, and I'm a senior at Hillsborough High School. I just went to Walmart to just go pick up a few things that I needed. I just got paid, and I went into the dressing room to just try on a few things, you know. As I was coming out of the dressing room, I heard over the Associates radio, there's some kind of code in electronics, someone stopped breathing and they don't have a pulse, and I just grabbed my stuff and I ran over to electronics. When I got there, I expected it to be like an elderly person or an adult, maybe that had some kind of emergency like that. I was not expecting a baby, and when I got there, it surprised me so much that it was a baby. There was a Walmart associate sitting on the ground holding the baby, and then the mom was sitting on the ground next to them. But there was a lot of adults and with carts and their stuff just standing in a big circle around them, just wondering what's going on, not really knowing what to do. I just kind of what I learned in Miss Husky's class kind of kicked in, and I was like, okay, put the baby on my forearm facing me and just do the 5 chest compressions with my 2 fingers. And then I'd flip her around and do the 5 back blows on her back. I did that about probably 3 times. So I did the 5 chest compressions, then flipped her on her stomach and did the 5 back blows about 2 or 3 times. And then when I flipped her back onto her back, she just goes and takes like a short breath in, and I was like, oh, it worked. I definitely think my training kicked in and not my emotion, because I would have been scared to death, but I have no idea why I wasn't. The CPR training helped me save the baby's life.
I started the program because I knew that CPR made a difference in a life of a young girl, personally. And I know that if more people do know CPR, they're going to be saving lives, and people are going to live. It does make a difference.
We teach CPR in our health classes. It's part of the health curriculum, so all of our students here will get CPR training at Hillsborough High School.
I thought the CPR class was going to be fun. Like, I was pretty excited for it.
We bring in paramedics from the local ambulance district, and they work one-on-one with our kids.
I think high school is the perfect time for students to learn CPR, for young adults to learn CPR. They are young adults, they're making life decisions, and this is the decision that can make a difference in their life or the life of someone that they know or a complete stranger.
For me as a teacher, it takes very little time to include CPR in the health curriculum. Very few resources are needed, and in just 30 minutes of teaching hands-only CPR, it can have a huge impact on that student's life, and they could be using that in a real-life situation to save someone else's life in the future. In all reality, out of 4 years of high school, it's 30 minutes that could save a life.
You just never know when you're going to be called upon to do those, when a situation's going to arise that you're the only one that can potentially save that person's life.